What up, people? What's good? Salute, salute.
Yes, sir.
Yo, what's good, everybody? Salute to the tribe. We're hip hop and comics and hip hop. We're a niche channel. We're a niche channel. And reserved for the best is super dope. I do sell comics. Check me out on Instagram at 6th_element_comic. We do live auctions, live claim sales. I rock with Tooth and Claw, hit animated television series. Scotty Young joint, blowing up fast. X23. So this is dope, man. All right, so this is beautiful, beautiful. Okay, all right. What's good? This is Sixth Element of Hip Hop. I'm Reno Noir, and this is my co-host, Spadeonomics Comics. What's good, my man?
What it do, bro?
It is postponed DC Day. We were supposed to do it yesterday at 6:30, but things transpired and it was not possible. So we figured we'd still hit y'all up with some info today.
You know, just like we say in the wrestling world, cards subject to change.
There you go. Card subject to change. I like it. You know, because I mean, things happen, right?
That's right. Such is life. So yeah,
it's life. Now,
and then this time of year, Christmas time. So it can get kind of icky, kind of sticky, kind of crazy.
Right. Yes. Now we've got some interesting stuff that we heard about Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson and Black Adam. You sent me the article, but break it down for us, man. What's going on with that?
So basically, and for those who have been living under a rock, I don't know what you're doing with your time, but you know The Rock is playing Black Adam in his solo movie next year.
Yes.
And he's been lobbying really, really hard because his ex-wife is one of Henry Cavill's managers. So he's been lobbying really hard to basically keep the Snyderverse going and get WB off of there, quit dragging their feet and get Henry Cavill back in the suit and cape because he wants him as Superman.
Right.
So one of his things is the age-old question: who would win in a fight between Superman and Black Adam?
Right.
And as we've talked many times on this show and other shows, you know, one of Superman's vulnerabilities is magic, which is Black Adam and Shazam's power. You know,
they're right.
So, so The Rock is he's been on it. You know, kind of what people say in the article, like he kind of has a knack for not really getting what he wants in a spoiled way, but getting what he wants, making stuff happen the right way.
Right.
So he's been going to producers and, you know, the heads at Warner Brothers and everything, DC, and telling them like, look, man, we got to get him back in his role because I want to eventually have a Black Adam versus Superman on the big screen. And I'm like, dang, man, that's the fight that nobody knew they wanted, basically, you know?
Right.
So that's been his whole stick, man, just trying to, you know, get Henry Cavill back, trying to get WB quit dragging their feet and get him back in the suit, whether it's in the solo movie or, you know, a cameo in Black Adam or Shazam. It's some type of way where they want to put him back. Rock wants to put him back in so that seed can be planted and, you know, then blossom and turn it into, you know, Black Adam 2, Black Adam 3, or some type of thing in the Justice League. And I'm like, you can go a number of different ways because now Black Adam is a member of the Justice League in the comic books. So I'm like, it would still be, you know, pretty accurate.
Yep. Now in the comics, he's a good guy then?
Anti-hero.
Right. Mm-hmm. No, I remember that because he was I remember him kind of lobbying the Justice League, like, you know, because he wasn't all like just a villain. He was basically saying like, you know, I'm not a villain, but I'm just not a goody two shoes.
Right.
And but is this a change because was he historically a villain?
He was, yes, historically he was a villain, and I think in recent years, and especially like the past decade, people, writers, artists, of course, but writers have been exploring Black Adam's history a little bit more. It's
Mm,
kind of like they see him a little bit like Marvel does Doctor Doom. He's not inherently evil. He tries to do what's right for his people, even though we know Doctor Doom is a tyrant.
yeah.
But
No, he's a
but
bad guy.
with,
Yeah.
yeah, but
But
with
he's
Black
got
Adam,
yeah.
they he's like, protective of his people because again, like Stu Dog said, he was once picked to be the champion by the Council of Wizards,
Right.
and but the power kind of corrupted him, and he's seen where uh basically people just don't do right, and it's like, all right, well, if you ain't gonna do right, then I got the power, I'm gonna go ahead and take you out.
Right.
So it's like, does that necessarily make him a villain? I mean, in some circles, yes, but it's just like, if you trying to get justice for people and people are beyond the point of redemption, it's like, really, do you really want to try to save?
Right. Well, yeah, and it's like, Marvel definitely did that with Thanos. Basically, like in the comics, though, in the comics, Thanos is just a bad dude.
Right.
He's the Mad Titan. He don't give a damn. He's all about conquering shit. But he's basically infatuated or obsessed with Death, Mistress Death, the character Death, and he's in love
Hmm.
with her, and he wants to impress her, and that's his bag. But in the movie, they made him, I thought, really relatable. Like he's what he was doing was, I guess the way he was going about it was bad, but his intention was good. His intention was to help the universe by cutting its population in half, thus taking out the population problem that we have. I mean, Earth has one, so I'm sure the universe got one, right? So
Right.
that's kind of how they but yeah, but he, his means was to just snap the finger and just wipe out randomly half the population of the universe.
Hmm.
No, indiscriminately, not choosing who to wipe out and all of that. And I guess he did that also in a way. Shout out Ed Santos in the chat. What's good, my brother?
What's
Ed
up, Ed
Santos.
Santos?
Word up. Shout out to the tribe, Full Blast Tribe. What's good, everybody? Um, but yeah, like, inevitably you've got like there would be if they tried to separate, like if they tried to choose who to eliminate and who to keep, that would have caused a big war. It would have
Hmm.
caused, so his way of looking at it was, the only fair way to do this is to just at random half the population, no specifics, no, not picking who to kill and who to leave, whatever, but because, I'm sure you'd say, a lot of people would say, well, let's eliminate just the bad people. Well, then it's
Right.
like, who's the bad people and who makes that decision?
Absolutely.
And then you've got different cultures with different, outlooks on what's good and bad. And then you're talking other complete planets and solar systems with their own, whatever. So it would be impossible to get it done otherwise. And so Thanos's whole thing was relatable, and he was like the anti not an I wouldn't say an anti-hero, but he wasn't just an all out, just a bad evil dude. Like he
Right.
had, you know what I mean? Like, and I think now, do you think that years ago when The Rock, because remember he's been trying to get this role for what he said, like 20 years or something,
Yeah.
like 12
Between
years or
15,
something.
12 to 15 years, he's been trying to get this done.
Now, during that time, do you think that DC purposely started to mold him into a anti-hero, not just a straight up villain, because they knew that The Rock wouldn't be able to just play a straight villain. He's The Rock, so he's gotta keep up appearances. He's got a lot of child fans. He's got a lot of fans. He can't just be a bad guy. He's got to be, if he's gonna play a bad guy, it's got to be an anti-hero.
If that's the case, and you say you do, I think that maybe a little bit. I can't totally dismiss that and say no. I don't think this case. I think it's got something to do with it
Mm,
because of how when people talk about The Rock, they usually talk about how genuine he is, as a real person, and um, how hardworking he is, no matter if it's in the wrestling ring or movies or his Under Armour line or something. Just how much he puts into everything he does.
right.
So I could see where DC might try to change Black Adam into more of a, anti-hero, try to make him a little bit good, so to speak. And at the same point in time, that's kind of like, all right, now you're kind of taking away a little bit from, let's see what The Rock can do as a villain. Let's see what he can do. Because I'm like, the only movie I've seen him be in as a villain was Doom. And if you've never seen it, please don't.
Yeah, I have not seen that.
Yeah, don't watch it. I'm telling you, like, don't watch. You'll be like, why'd you tell me? I'm telling you not to watch it. So
Right.
that's not to say don't, like, not saying go watch it, but aside
Yeah,
from that,
yeah.
that's the only role I've ever seen him play a villain in, and I'm like, man, it would be real interesting to see him as a really as a full-fledged villain in Black Adam, and I know that's basically the way he'll kind of start out. Not necessarily saying he'll end up that way, but
Yeah.
they do like they plan on having sequels and him crossing to other movies, then yeah, of course, he'll probably soften his stance, the character soften his stance a little bit.
Right, right, right.
Salute
Shout
Diamond Onyx.
word, word. Shout out everybody in the chat, everybody that's watching right now. We appreciate you. And yeah, so yeah, I agree, bro. Like, and I think it just seems a little coincidental, right? That
Mhm.
this character now in the comics is more of an anti-hero, more of a, not such a bad guy, not just a straight up evil villain. And that's perfect for The Rock. That's perfect because he gets to be the villain, but then he gets to come around, and become more, good or relatable or
Mhm.
not such a bad guy, you know what I mean? And yo, shout out Diamond Onyx, crew of men. But we also do love to have our comic women of comics to chop it up with us as well.
For
Diamond,
sure.
I keep telling you to come on the show, man. You might as well come on, man, and just say what's up to everybody in person. But yeah, we maybe we definitely get you on the next Women of Comics episode because I have some people, some other women that's lined up to do that. So we'll definitely be doing a part 2 of that because that was fun. That was a great.
That was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed that episode.
Yep, yep. Yeah, man. Yeah. She oh wait, let me go tap in with a thumbs up. Facts, the queens. Yeah, man. Yes, please hit that like button, guys. And please leave a comment. Um chat doing say what's up in the chat and also leave a comment because apparently that definitely helps the algorithm, you know what I mean, the YouTube algorithm for more people finding us and seeing the show and stuff like that.
Hmm.
Big shout out ASAP Comics UK, what's up, man? we
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, we've recently had several authors or artists or creators, I guess is the word, from ASAP Comics and from that whole camp on our show as guests, and we will be this Wednesday as well, and probably the next couple Wednesdays to come, man, on indie hip hop and comics. We'll be talking indie hip hop and indie comics, and these guys are the epitome of indie comics right now. So we love to have. But so The Rock says he quotes, right? There's a battle that's going on, or no, there's a battle that's going to go down one day between Black Adam and Superman. I don't know who that Superman is going to be, and I don't know who's going to play him, and that's okay. I don't need to know right now, but I'm confident in not knowing in knowing that. And that's based out of what the fans want. We worked backwards from there. So what he's saying basically is right is that he doesn't know if it's gonna be Cavil, Henry Cavill, but
Mm-hmm.
he's gonna fight Superman,
Mm-hmm.
and I hope it's Cavil. I don't know. I've always liked Cavill Superman, always.
It might as well be because I was like when and going back to the point of what we were talking about with the anti-hero or like what you were talking about with Thanos, I was gonna bring up the point. It was the same way with General Zod in Man of Steel.
Mm,
You could argue the point. People are like, well, Zod was a bad guy. I'm like, yeah,
mm,
Zod is a bad guy. I said, but at the same point in time, he wasn't because he was trying to preserve his people.
right,
He was looking out for the best interests of Krypton. And it was like his morals went totally against Superman's morals. That's why they clashed.
right,
And it's like if there was a common ground, a medium, I'm pretty sure it wouldn't have been a fight, of course, but that was my thing with that. I was like, when I went back and hundreds of times I've watched Man of Steel, like every time I'm just like, yeah, I can see where Zod is not necessarily a villain. He's the villain of the movie,
right,
but not necessarily a villain.
right,
And so tying into the point of like, if The Rock can kind of keep what Zack Snyder's vision, what he wanted, how he started it with Man of Steel, kind of keep that flow going, then
right.
yeah, by all means, it's like bring Henry Cavill back as Superman. I'm like, it's still been reports where he's like, I still got the cape in my closet. I'm ready to put it
Yeah,
on anytime.
yeah,
So
hell yeah.
and like I said earlier, with Rock's ex-wife being one of Henry Cavill's managers, and she is Rock's business partner, it's just like,
Mm,
everything is still kind of right there in line.
yeah, it just falls in place. It just seems,
Mhm.
yeah, it lines right up, man. The stars align.
So I'm like, yeah, just go ahead and yeah, man, let Henry come back as Superman and shoot the Black Adam hit Shazam, and then hey, let's get ready to rumble.
Let's do it, man. I can't wait. Like that's gonna be phenomenal, bro. And like you said, man, people that's been reading the comics have been waiting for this, and it's just something that would be awesome, whether they do it in the comics, whether they do it animated, or whether they do it live action. Uh,
Hmm.
it's a battle that's meant to go down because for those who don't know, Superman, everybody knows Superman is susceptible to kryptonite, but his other weakness is magic. Or
Right.
yeah, so magic, guys with with magic powers or whatever, he's vulnerable to that. So Black Adam is I mean, are they so is Black Adam a wizard? Do they consider Shazam and Black Adam wizards, magic users, or are they someone that the wizards have created?
I would say more someone that the Wizards have created,
Okay.
excuse me, imbued power to and on. Not necessarily. I guess they would, in eventually or inevitably they could become wizards. But far as for now, they're just like champions, warriors, or
Right.
carriers of that torch. I guess would be the best way to explain it.
Right. Because
And so, go ahead.
like a wizard might summon a monster or a demon, they might, create a champion.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And just like in Shazam's movie, Doctor Savannah, he, of course, had the power and he was able to get the like seven deadly sins. And Shazam had to, you know, Billy Batson had to imbue his family in order to fight all of them. But yeah, so it's something like that. It was like, oh, he was able to not necessarily transfer his power, but kind of grant his power.
Right. That yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. So, but because they're of the wizard, they're of magic, Superman is vulnerable. Now, I guess I wonder, like, how is he vulnerable to? Is it like Black Adam is super strong, but because his strength comes from magic, Superman feels his hits more? Like,
It would be like if, say, you take two boxes and one of them might be like a heavyweight, one of them might be kind of like a middleweight or a junior heavyweight or something.
Right.
And the heavyweight, yeah, he's a little bit stronger because he's a heavyweight, but they
Right.
can still, but the lighter weight person can still go toe to toe. With Black Adam and Superman, it would be like, yes, Superman would feel his blows, his punches like a regular person, because it would be like if somebody like you or I tried to punch Superman, we're gonna break our hand, you know.
Right.
But
Right.
if somebody that's kind of, same super strength as him, even though it's magic based, it's like, all right, that kind of cancels out, a little bit of his power or his invulnerability, because I'm like, now you can, he can be opened up to, bam, a regular punch, and it's like, yeah, you gonna feel it. So he's
So
walked away with more than a few bruises in the comics times that he's fought Shazam or Black Adam or even Martian Manhunter.
right. Right. Now, if Superman fought someone who's just super strong, as strong as Black Adam or Superman, but they get their powers through science or whatever, does he
I
feel like is that what it is, or is it Black Adam? If Black Adam uses like lightning bolts or some shit, like a power on Superman, is it more just
It's
his?
more just it's actually more of the magic, because I think, well, not think, but no, the susceptibility of Superman to magic, it'd be like you could cast a spell on him and mind control him. That's the reason why people like Poison Ivy, when she does her spores and everything, she can, like in the Hush storyline, she
Mhm,
controlled them. Let's see, Zatanna, Dr. Fate, Constantine, people that are supernatural or magic based like that, kind of have a leg up on them a little bit. They might not be as strong as Superman, but the magic can, kind of negate or fool with his powers and fool with his mind some. So with Black Adam, yeah, any magic that he could do to or whatever magic imbues him and makes him stronger, yeah,
mhm,
he can really do some damage to Superman with that, because of Superman's vulnerability to magic.
right. Now, what kind of powers does he have?
Super strength, flight, uh, invulnerability. He can call down magic. I mean, not magic, but lightning. It's another power that he has that I thought about. He can even send out, like, lightning strikes too.
So he's like, yeah, so he's like the Emperor on Star Wars, and he's like Thor.
Yeah,
Wow. Yeah, that dude, man. That dude.
yeah.
The more I hear about Black Adam, the more he seems like the type of character I like.
He definitely ain't no a pushover. That's for damn sure.
Right. He no sissy.
Mm.
Uh, yeah, yeah,
Black
yeah.
Adam ain't no punk at all, man.
Right. That's a yeah, it's a good pick on the Rock's part, man, to play that character, man. That's a good it's like Method Man playing Bishop. It's just
Mm.
man, it's so perfect, you know. I would love to see that, man. That's another one I can't wait to see, man. If Marvel, honestly, if Marvel makes the mutants, the X-Men, and doesn't do Bishop and doesn't do Method Man playing him, then I quit. I quit.
Yeah,
I quit
I
Marvel.
agree.
I don't rock with Marvel no more, bro. I'm gonna
The
be that.
thing about it is I want to say, yeah, with Rock being Black Adam, it was kind of similar to Samuel Jackson as Nick Fury. Somebody was reading a comic one day, like now in the comic, well, recently in the comics, they had changed Black Adam's look. They gave him his hair back, but back then he was bald. Then
Mm,
somebody tried, decided to make him bald, and they were like, "Damn, he looks like The Rock." And so
no,
it's like that's kind of how it started,
yeah,
and it was like, wow, Then it was like, so somebody, of course, knows somebody, and they told him, they were like, dang, he does look like The Rock. And The Rock scene, he was like, oh, that's pretty interesting. So he got him intrigued. And I'm like, yeah, it's pretty cool. If you have a character that can resemble a real life person like that, it's like, especially an actor, like, yeah, man, they gotta do it now, because it's like, it's your likeness.
right. Yeah, it looks too. I mean, it's just too perfect, man. It's like yeah, and that's the same thing with Bishop with Method Man. You know, I think he was, you know, he's a big Marvel fan, big comic book fan. Method Man, you know, he's got like more comics than the average store. He's got like 30,000, not three,
Mm-hmm.
30,000 comic
30,000.
books, right? And he, I guess he was, you know, he's Johnny Blaze, that's his alter ego, but there was no black Ghost Rider yet. I mean, now there's even just there's a Latino Ghost Rider, but still,
Mm-hmm.
I guess he thought about Bishop being a dope character. But remember, Method Man used to be, I'm not gonna say he was skinny like Snoop Dogg, but he wasn't
He wasn't
buff.
built like he is now.
Now that fool is hub.
Man,
He said he got the whole Superman thing down, or superhero. He said, I got the superhero physique. He even put out a statement to Marvel. He's like, I got the superhero physique, man. He's like, look at
yeah,
these pictures. He's like, I can do the run in there with the shirt off action scene all day. He's like, yeah. He said, I got the, and Bishop is a big dude. Bishop is huge.
Bishop
Bishop,
is.
yeah, Bishop ain't no scrawny cat.
So he
Bishop
like
got, so he built his body to be like Bishop, because all superheroes ain't bulky like that.
right.
A lot of them are just more lean or whatever, but
Mm-hmm.
he got big like Bishop is big, so that's perfect,
Like
man.
you ain't CGI in this. That's another thing about like The Rock and Henry Cavill, man. They were serious about their roles, so it was like you ain't gonna have to CGI no muscles on me because I got my own. I'm bringing my own to the set, and it's like the same thing with Method Man. He
Yeah.
was dead set on like you're not CGIing anything on me. It was like, hey, I'm bringing this to the set.
Yep. Yep. He said, "Yo, did you catch him in the JSA? Amazing run for the character. Is he talking about Black Adam?
Yeah, and the Justice Society.
Did
Mm,
you
so
did you read any of that?
I didn't get to read much of that. I know a little bit about it, but I didn't get to read much of it.
Right. Mm.
But I'm definitely trying to check him out here in the like I said, check out in the Justice League now that he's in it. And it was funny because it was like um, Superman kind of wanted Black Adam to be in the Justice League, and the rest of Justice League was like, nah, man, he's a villain, and it was Superman himself who had to kind of go to each member and be like, look, I'm petitioning for him to be in this club because he can be redeemed. He's showing redeemable qualities.
Huh. I would have thought Superman would have been the last guy. I would have thought it would have been Batman would have been trying to get him in there.
It was Superman himself.
That's cool. That's cool. And yeah, but yeah, that's surprising. That is surprising. What you working on, Zartan? What you planning on doing? Where you trying to go, man? Ain't nowhere to go. Ain't nowhere to go. What's he gonna
Lord,
do?
I'm gonna mute my mic for a second. My loud is coming in.
Okay. What you trying to do, man? Like you trying to get over here on me. Look at this cat. So you're gonna climb right up on Reno right now. Come on, Zartan. Don't he crawl off and go get lost in the room, man, and we can't have that. But so speaking of, we were talking about Young Justice the other week on DC Day. We were talking about Young Justice, the new show coming out, Phantoms. And I read this article. Young Justice hints at a magical hero holds a dark secret. As Young Justice Phantoms rolls on, we discover a key magical hero holds a dark secret, and it's one that could have dire repercussions. So we were talking about Young Justice Phantoms the other week, remember?
Mm-hmm.
Well, they talking about, and then you just mentioned Zatanna, and so it made me think about this. And this is spoilers right here, y'all, for Young Justice, for the first 9 episodes of Young Justice Phantoms. So if you plan to watch it or you haven't watched it yet, earmuffs.
Nah,
As
go
young,
ahead and listen. We do spoilers. It's more of an incentive to watch.
yes, we do spoilers. We certainly do. As Young Justice Phantoms rolls on, the show moves away from the Superboy fiasco and his death on Mars, as well as the battle Artemis is waging against Lady Shiva in the League of Shadows. Now it's
Hmm.
dealing with a mystical threat that's come to Earth via the Lord of Chaos. As the latest episode Ode New or Odd New ODNU unfolds, we discover a key magical hero might hold a dark secret that could have dire consequences. This is none other than they love to put an ad right in front of the text. Can't read it. This is none other than something family who's now a trainee alongside Khan and I don't know something Zatanna's tutelage.
Hmm.
As they go on a mission to catch some trolls, though, marries herself as she isn't rocking her Mary Marvel costume. In fact, she's not usually chipper as her comic counterpart, as well as other animated takes have made her out to be. She cuts a more pensive figure, and it does seem to be because she's struggling with the power inside. Zatanna tells her early on, "You're still thinking too much like a superhero," and that she needed to deprogram. And this causes her peers to ask what their leader meant. And Mary started to explain that she used to be a superhero called Sergeant. However, she cut herself off before she could say the word Marvel, as her original superhero code name had been Sergeant Marvel in the comics. When Mary tried to explain she had the power of Shazam, a la Billy Batson, she also cut herself short because if she said the wizard name Shazam, she would lose her powers.
Mhm.
And this works twofold as it avoids touching on Captain Marvel fiasco of Marvel Comics that we also talked about the other week, but it also addresses how Mary's harnessing her power. She's seen using the gods' abilities such as the speed of Mercury and such, but she doesn't want to channel them fully to change her body or wear a suit like other members of the Shazam family. Mary is instead honing her craft through spells under Zatanna, hinting she doesn't or maybe she can't cut loose like before. Sorry, man. Uh, it could backfire though, as Mary doesn't seem to be handling it well, making her more incompetent and vulnerable in the field. But at least she has teenage friends on her team who may be able to help her out. Only time, but I think they mean tell. But for now,
Mhm.
she does lack confidence, shaping a liability whose Zatanna will have to monitor.
Hmm.
Are you watching this show yet?
No, I hadn't been able to check out Young Justice like this season yet. I checked out the first three, but I hadn't
Man,
been able to check this
really
one
good.
out.
I heard it's really good.
I heard it was too. Like I know Stu gave it a real good recommendation, and most likely rightfully so, because that show has been it was great. You know, I love watching it on Cartoon Network and stuff. And I
Right.
hated when they pulled it after two seasons, and everybody was like, "You just pulled it after two seasons. You still got more stories to tell." Like we
Yeah.
want this edgy type cartoon back because a lot of people felt it was a throwback to the Justice League Unlimited cartoon back in the early 2000s.
Right.
And I'm like, yeah, it kind of is. You know, not in the animation style, but in the feel of it, it kind of is.
Right.
So yeah, I was glad that they redid or did another season. But like I said, I have yet to check out Young Justice Phantoms, but I've heard it's been awesome.
Yeah, yeah. From what I understand, it's really good. Now, so this is talking about Zatanna and Mary, right? Mary Marvel.
Mhm.
I
Yeah,
thought, okay, now
Mary Jackson.
tell me about Zatanna, man. I thought she was a villain, right? She's not a villain,
No, her father was a magician, and he got I want to say he died trying to cast a mystical spell, to kind of like selling his soul type thing.
right?
And but she inherited his spell book, her powers and everything, and decided to fight alongside the Justice League in order to basically avenge her father and prevent this from happening to anybody else. She also goes around the country. She does her magic shows and stuff too, and it's like, man, it's pretty cool. So she, she's like she gets paid for her acts, but it's still her powers, her actual powers.
Right.
And she's been, let's see, what else she been featured in? She's been featured in Smallville, a couple of episodes there. She's been in Justice League Unlimited, of course, and one of the video games. She's one of the original 7, and Justice League Heroes is what it's called.
Mm. See, I always, I don't know, because she wears like a top hat and like coattails, right, and like a cane, yeah, there she is. I mean, let me get a close up on this. This is a sick ass figure. Wow. Oh, that's a statue, right?
No, that's a figure.
Oh, really?
I just hadn't opened it.
Oh, wow. Oh, yeah. Okay. I see the joints. Man, that's pretty detailed. That's a dope figure right there. So there she is. That's Zatanna, y'all. You can see she's definitely dressed like a classic, magician with the top hat and the coattails and the little wand. The wand with the black wand with the white tip thing. And yeah. So, but she does. So she obviously could. Superman is vulnerable to her.
Right, and then in the episodes of Smallville, one of them she guest starred in 3, I think, and she was 2 and mentioned in 1, so total of 3. But one of them she cast a spell on him because she was trying to get him to help her find the spell book in order to bring her father back from the dead, and it was up to him and Green Arrow, which that was that show's Batman, to kind of be like, I don't know. So when she did, she kissed him, kissed Clark, and Lois walks in, and he immediately goes back to himself, and she was like, y'all really have a bond. He was like, what are you talking about? I don't like it. She was like, yeah, but I cast a spell on you, and the only way to break it was for me to break it, but you broke it yourself. He said, she said, so something about y'all's bond is really, really strong. Then another time when Clark and Lois were getting ready to get married, they were having a bachelorette party. So of course he's Superman, he can't get drunk, right?
Right.
So she cast a spell on some champagne, and Clark woke up with a splitting headache, and him and his best friend Chloe, she was in a wedding dress, so he has on a wedding ring, so he thinking he mismarried Chloe. And so it was like, all right. The long story short was Chloe and Oliver, Green Arrow, had got married, and Lois and Clark were still doing their vows and everything, but they went on this wild adventure because Zatanna had just, cast a spell on them, just not necessarily mind wiped everybody, but they didn't remember what they did the previous night.
Right.
So it's like her powers and spells. So yeah, they can definitely affect Superman.
Right. So she made what she enchanted the champagne so that it could work on Superman or something.
Yeah, so he could get a little buzz, and then the side effect was it messed up everybody, like from Superman to Lois to Green Arrow to Professor Emil Hamilton. All of them just they were blitzed, man, from Zatanna's champagne. So,
she made it
so
super. So Superman, he could get drunk. It got to be super potent.
He can't get drunk. It's like Flash. He would burn right through it.
Oh, Flash can't get drunk because of metabolism.
Flash can't get drunk neither because of his metabolism.
That's funny. That's funny.
You look, if you ever get a chance to watch some of the episodes of Flash where Barry's drink, I think it's like in seasons 3 or 4 or whatever, and he's taking up a shot, and Cisco whips up this big old thing, and he was like, it's like 300 proof or whatever. Mm-hmm. Barry takes a shot, like, whoo, I feel it. And it's like, he feels it for about 30 seconds, like, and gone.
Wow. That's funny. That's funny.
So normally, like, he would take shots. It's like he had a bunch of, like, he had like 20 shots lined up one time. He would shoot one after another. He was like, it's like drinking water.
Yeah, man, that's crazy. Well, speaking of video game, I mean, you did kind of just mention a video game. Wonder Woman has a new game coming out.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we're gonna look.
I did not know that.
Yes, it looks pretty dope. We're gonna look at the trailer, but Wonder Woman Warner Brothers Games has produced many games based on DC Comics over the years, but most of them are always Batman or Batman adjacent, like Harley Quinn or something. But
Mhm.
we just learned at the Game Awards 2020 that the team behind Middle Earth Shadow of Mordor, which is a dope game, is making an open world game starring Wonder Woman. I love
Wow.
open world games. Yeah, bro. And the graphics, it's next gen, so it looks amazing.
No,
Currently the Wonder Woman game does not have a release date though. Warner Brothers Games says the title is in development, which likely means it's several years away. Don't expect the game until like 2023 at the earliest.
and
Probably
maybe
late.
by that time I can actually get a PS5 if I can find one.
Thank you. Exactly. So I'm cool with that because I ain't gonna have that system till then anyway, because I ain't paying no $1,000. It's just not
Hell
happening.
no.
I won't even pay $100 for a G.I. Joe classified. If it ain't MSRP, you know what I'm saying? Manufacturer
Mhm.
suggested retail price. I'm not doing it, dog. I'm not giving these scalpers the money, man, because it's foul what they do. It's
It
foul what they do.
really is.
Because anybody should be able to buy the joint, man. You buying hundreds of them just to literally to make it where no one can get one for normal price just so you can sell it. I mean, it's just scumbaggery. But I digress. Thankfully there will be a DC video games to distract you in the meantime though, because Gotham Knights is coming out, Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League is coming out. Platforms for the games is not confirmed yet either, but we expect it to be only on the current gen consoles like PS5 and Xbox Series X and whatnot. Um, Tynion's Justice League Dark Run reveals a lot of her origin and what happens to Zatanna's father. Okay. Right, right, right. Shout out to Defective Chimp for that. Yes, new wonderful Wonder Woman game. And yes, there it is. The Wonder Woman game was revealed with a surprise trailer at the Game Awards 2021. Just happened the other day, I think yesterday, the day before, I forget. It doesn't show much though. It just reveals Wonder Woman's character model as the Hippolyta narrates, asking her daughter to come home to the Miscria. How do you spell it? Or how do you
Themyscira.
say it? Themyscira? Uh,
Mhm.
but check out this trailer, guys. We'll run the trailer real quick, and hopefully YouTube won't shut it down. But if it does go blank and says, something, just wait. It'll come back.
My daughter, a new threat comes to our shores, and I must call you home. Restore what has been broken. Unite old enemies. Forge new bonds. You are a hero, but you can be more. You can be a leader. You are Wonder Woman.
So yeah, not much as far as gameplay, but
She
what do you
looks
think?
dope, man.
Looks dope. She looks real dope. Yeah, that shit's gonna be dope. Uh, Developed by Monolith Productions, not to be confused with Xenoblade Chronicles developer Monolith Soft. Monolith Productions is a developer owned by Warner Brothers that's been making games since 1994. The studio is best known for The Operative, No One Lives Forever, which I've never heard of, the Fear, FEAR, Fear series, which I've never heard of, and most recently, the Middle Earth Shadow of Mordor and Shadow of War games based on Lord of the Rings, which I love. Those games are great. So if they're anything like that, and I'm sure it will be, it seems, in that vein. But yeah, um, looks amazing.
Mhm.
Got to get Wonder Woman on the
Wonder Woman
Xbox.
on the Xbox. Gonna be great. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It seems to be the closest to the developers' Lord of the Rings games, like as an open world action adventure title. Monolith Productions Vice President and studio head David Hewitt discussed developers' goals with the Wonder Woman game. He said, "At Monolith Productions, we believe in the power of player-driven storytelling to unite people. The stories our players share inspire us every day, and we are honored to take players on a unique personal journey driven by the values embodied in Wonder Woman. The Nemesis system raised the bar for players, story-driven storytelling. They wrote, and we're excited to push the open world genre forward, combining cutting edge action with inventive narratives to create a Wonder Woman game everyone will want to play. The press release, it didn't. The trailer doesn't mention any women on the development team or if it's like a woman, made game, but hopefully women are in key creative roles for this Wonder Woman video game. But yeah, again, we don't see no gameplay, but if it's anything like the Middle Earth games, trust me, it's gonna be dope. If anyone's played like the recent Avengers game, you played
I
that?
haven't played it.
Okay. It's sort of like that. It's sort of
Okay.
similar, but where did he go? Oh shit. Dude's
He just
crazy, man.
jumped in and took off again.
Yeah, man. Come on, Zartan. Like, what's your goal, man? What's the end game? Where you trying to get to? He be on a mission. Like he's really, he's going somewhere. Like he's doing something that he got a reason for it and a goal and all of that.
He
And then
taking
he
a
always,
little road trip.
yeah, he ends up across the room, up on the damn curtain or something, just for no reason. But yeah, I guess he wants to get his little adventure time in, and that's what's up. I always take him out, let him run around and shit. But yes, Wonder Woman game, yes. Wonder Woman 2.
Dude, I like looking at that, man, and staying on the subject of Wonder Woman when what was it, the Bloodlines DVD that came out last year? It was like
Right.
a origin story, and at first I was kind of like, oh man, I already got the Wonder Woman DVD. Like he told her origin story, I ain't gonna get this one, and I don't know. I was in Walmart and kept walking past it and walking past it. I'm like, you know what, screw it, I'm gonna go ahead and buy it and watch it. And I enjoyed the shit out of it. I'm like, there's a really good new telling of her origin story, but also it had a great story, great villain in it.
Right.
Unlike Wonder Woman 84, man, I wanted to like that movie so bad, and I can't do it, And I'm like, I know it's insequential to the movie franchise and everything, but it's like I ain't buying this on DVD just because I didn't like it. So I was like, I hate that. Wonder Woman's one of my favorite characters too, and especially like growing up old school, Linda Carter was always my Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
Side note, yes, I got a crush on Linda Carter, so yeah. But I always fashioned her as Wonder Woman till Gal Gadot came along, and I'm like, wow, man, she did a wonderful job in her role as Wonder Woman. And so like 84 was kind of a big letdown for me. So I'm like, to me, I hope this game is a bit of redemption in that for the Wonder Woman character, which it looks like it will be.
Yeah. Yeah, let's hope so.
Because I was just like, man, she too good of a character to be ruined by the mess that was that movie. I'm just gonna say it like that.
Yeah.
Some people might disagree, and that's fine. But I was just like, man, it was nothing like the first Wonder Woman movie, like nothing at all.
Yeah.
Only thing that was like similar was set in past. I'm like, when they do Wonder Woman 3, put her in present day.
Yeah. Yeah. You didn't like the 80s vibe, or you just feel they didn't do 80s well?
It was okay. It was just like, but her origin story was told in World War II, World War I, World War II time.
Yeah.
And it's like, all right, but we've seen her. Batman versus Superman and Justice League was more present time, so it's like, well, let's see her in that because continuity wise, remember Bruce said you've been hiding for over 100 years and nobody's seen you. But if you're gonna go with Wonder Woman 2, people have been seeing her, even though you didn't have camera phones back then, you still had cameras that could capture you. So I'm like, she had to be seen somewhere. You couldn't not see her.
Right.
So it was just like continuity wise. I just thought that was kind of, I don't know. So yeah, I really hope that when they do the third one, put her in present day time.
Yeah. I feel you. Yeah, because it's like we want, like, you want to see her, you want to see what's going on with her with the other Justice League stuff.
Yeah,
Now,
and like the other all the other gripe I had about 84 Wonder Woman 84, Cheetah wasn't enough Cheetah in the movie.
oh right, yeah, yeah,
And so I was like, I like to look, I like the fight scenes. I even like when the fight scenes leading up to her becoming Cheetah.
right.
But when she actually became Cheetah, it was like what, for 25 seconds. It was like blinking, you miss it. I'm like, you didn't really fight her.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, it was definitely lackluster. It definitely didn't, and it reminds me of Black Widow. Like, they gave, like, Black Widow, we got Taskmaster, but it wasn't really Taskmaster.
Right.
It was some other whatever. It's something that they made up, and
Mm-hmm.
it's like that's not really it's not really Taskmaster. I mean, I felt like we didn't get it. We didn't get what we wanted. We didn't get what we didn't get the fans, we didn't get what we wanted, man. Just
No,
bottom line.
we really didn't, man. And it's like it sucks when you movies are promoted like this and they're promoted so heavily and fans' anticipation and excitement is up, and then it's just like,
And
okay,
then
well,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
they just crush it, man.
Yeah, they just do whatever they feel. They make up their own thing. They change it. They make their own version of shit, and it's like,
Mhm.
okay, cool, but we we came here to see this. We came here to see what whatever character, and you created this whole other shit.
Absolutely. So I was like, man. So yeah, well, so that part, I was like, all right, the only saving grace with 84 was
Like,
Cheetah Lee. So
yeah,
maybe, she can have a part in Wonder Woman 3. I don't know what other villain other than maybe Cersei that Wonder Woman could fight. So, but it'd be interesting to see. But I really hope that they do something, epic with it. Uh-oh. I don't know if
you
you
there?
good. Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay, sorry everybody. We had an internet glitch. Wi-Fi just went out, and I just had to plug it into the whatever the hardwire, which it should be hardwired anyway. I just didn't switch it over before we started, but sorry
Ah,
about
that's
that,
cool.
folks. If you guys still hung around, we appreciate you. Uh,
Look like everybody did. So
yeah, everybody's still here.
everybody's still hanging out.
Well,
Technical
man,
difficulties can't stop this show.
can't stop the show, man, and we got some wild stuff coming Monday too. There's there's some good Marvel news we got coming, but we can't talk about that today. DC day, baby.
For anybody that asks why, like Spade always say, it's bad luck to you gonna bring about the cataclysmic end of the universe when you mix universes.
Right, right. You mix the big two.
It's like, yeah, reality goes.
Yeah, she just blanks out. Flash of light.
Mm.
Oh man, this guy here. All right, come on, buddy. Come on. You can't look. You can't sit between the mic and me. You got to pick one or the other. All right.
But I was saying that, like, if they do Wonder Woman 3 and for whatever villain, I'm like, seriously, is one that they should probably cast. Is one of Wonder Woman's main villains as well.
Nice. Yeah, Cersei, right? That's her name?
Yeah.
Nice. Man, that's cool. She got the sickle.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah, I got a couple of course that's the line on the back, but I got a couple of comic books from this line that she's in, and I'm like, man, she wreaked some havoc on Wonder Woman. So I was like, it's pretty cool.
Man, yeah, you be having some dope figures, man. Like I never even seen some of those brands like that you got.
Thanks, man. She gonna fall down. She ain't gonna stand up. But I appreciate it. I like some of them I just collected over the years and looked at them like, oh man, it's pretty cool. So I'm just gonna go ahead and get it. And didn't think nothing about it. And like now they're really, really hard to find.
Right.
Because you about to make them anymore, don't make them like that. I'm like, yeah. Telly, that's the fight that we all wanted to see that nobody knew they wanted.
Yep, that's it right there. That's it. Cavil versus The Rock. Yep.
It's what needs this is WrestleMania in comic book form right here.
Yes. And that's, that there you go. That's DCEU. That's art right there that somebody made, fan art that somebody made of Black Adam and Superman.
Mm-hmm.
Rock and Cavil. You yeah, you got The Rock facing off against Henry Cavill Superman, and he's set to make the debut in the DC anti-hero Shazam antagonist Black Adam, making the global superstar's first forte into one of two big comic movie universes. Of course, it's assumed that at some point down the road, Black Adam will share the screen with Zachary Levi's Shazam in a DCEU square off, but if Johnson has his way, Shazam won't be the only DC hero his character faces. Johnson indeed recently discussed the possibility of Black Adam battling against the greatest of all DC heroes, Superman. And according to Johnson, it's not a matter of if Black Adam and Superman will face off on the big screen, but when.
Yeah.
And like I said, he said, we can do anything if we keep the audience first, Johnson says. So to me, there's a battle that's going down one day between Black Adam and Superman because it's what the fans want.
Oh, no doubt, man. When you promote it like that and people see it and they remember how one character was and they got anticipation for another character, like, yeah, it's bound to happen. And it's like I said, it's like the fight nobody knew because everybody like, well, Shazam and Black Adam fight. Yeah, that's true. But like villains aren't exclusive to heroes and vice versa.
Right.
I've got books, Emperor Joker, which is a Superman story, but he fights the Joker and the Joker and Mr. Misplay.
Right.
He was on the hood. I don't know where he took off to now.
Yeah, where the hell has he got? Oh, here he goes. Come on, bro. Why you do me like this?
Yeah, thanks, Diamond Dogs. I appreciate it.
All right, here we go. Yeah, she said crushed. Wow. We didn't dough. Big dap to spade. Oh, she said you're gorgeous, man.
I think you talking about the action figure.
Yeah, probably. But yeah, there may be no formal plans for Black Adam and Superman to face off in the DCEU, but in the near or far future, I think it's gonna happen. It's really it's inevitable.
They did an animated DVD of Superman and Shazam versus Black Adam. I never got it. I'm like, I toured around and like thought about it a bunch of times. I never got it. And people like, yo, man, you should have got it. It was like really good. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, okay.
Go ahead.
So
Oh, yeah. So it should be available on.
it probably is available somewhere to stream, maybe on HBO Max. And I'm like,
Yeah.
knowing me, I can find that joint on Amazon and order it because I was just like, yeah, well, find just about anything on Amazon.
That's true. Yeah, yeah. I mean, do you buy the DVDs like the solid, or you just stream it like mostly?
No, I buy DVDs mostly. I'm like, very, very rarely do I stream something because I was like, especially like last night and night before having storms and tornadoes. Like, luckily our power didn't get knocked out. But it's like any event that it does and it messes with internet or internet cable gets cut off, I still got DVDs to watch. So yes, I am a DVD guy.
Sure. Yeah. No. Absolutely. Yeah. I keep my collection. Is definitely on deck at all times, just in case. In case. Let's see if we can get a shot of my little DVD tower. There you go. See that
Oh,
back?
that's awesome right there. I dig that. I dig that.
That's the movie.
Ooh, okay.
It's a movie case. DVD case. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
I actually have a Transformers one like that.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Like Optimus Prime's head or
Yep.
something. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yep. 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 Yeah, man. I keep them. And then I got the Blu-rays. We got Logan, Killing Joke, Sucker Punch is one of my favorite movies. Y'all got to see that movie. Crazy. Gladiator is probably my favorite film.
Mm-hmm.
Next to Goodfellas. Wolverine Origins. See, most people didn't like this. The Origins Wolverine.
I
The one
dug it, man. I really loved it.
I liked it a lot. It was my favorite for a while. Until
It was my favorite till Logan.
Right. Yep. Yep. And Deadpool, Man of Steel is still my favorite Superman movie of all time.
Yep.
Transformer, Terminator Salvation. Predators was a good movie. That was the one with Adrian Brody.
Yeah.
And he killed that shit. Like, he was dope in that movie, man. Rogue One, that's my favorite Star Wars movie, probably. Next to probably Empire Strikes Back. Huntsman, the RoboCop remake wasn't bad to me. It's not.
Man, I liked it too.
Yeah, bro. Like, I dug that shit. It wasn't bad at all. Like some people, oh, it's not. That's not RoboCop. Boo, boo, boo. Man, look.
But like, I can watch it, so I enjoyed it. I enjoyed that and the Conan remake with Jason Momoa. I like that one too.
Oh yeah, right. The Conan remake. Yeah, that was all right. That was all right too. Ninja is good. Ninja with the Shokosugi, as he's older now. Ninja Assassin, I think, is the one is dope too.
Ninja was dope.
Interstellar, that's one of my favorite sci-fi joints. If y'all have not seen Interstellar, check that shit out. Yeah, and then it just go on Predator the 80s, and then The Godfather, and then you get into Casino, Donnie Brasco, and all the gangster movies, Goodfellas and Scarface, Smoking Aces, Blow, American Gangster, The Departed, Brick Mansions. Yeah. Then it go into sci-fi, and then ninja or samurai stuff, and Beowulf and 300 and Prometheus and Blade Runner.
All right.
And Belly. There you go, Belly on the side.
Yeah, nice.
The DMX right there. But yeah, man, I'm a film buff. Like, I love movies. I've always been a film buff.
I got all most of my shit's broken up. Of course, I keep like my superhero stuff separate from other stuff, and then I got my comedy, my action, my sci-fi, and whatnot.
Yeah.
So I'm like, shoot, I'm over here looking at my DVD tower, which is mostly all my superhero DVDs. DC on one side, Marvel on the other.
Yep.
And everything else kind of in between.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you see my I don't know, man cave is in disarray.
Yeah, I'm kind of the same way. Let's see if I can turn this joke around. So,
but yeah, that's right. I wanted to see your spade cave today.
Yeah, I added addition. I added a Storm. I found a frame for her. A friend of mine that me and Cooks met at the convention, Damon Bowie. We're gonna have him on our show sometime. But he drew Storm.
That
He
is
do that
sick.
Static Shock right there.
Oh wow. Wow, he's dope, man.
Yeah.
Dude
And
got skill.
the convention we went to in Birmingham, another artist did that for Vegeta. I forgot his name
Oh,
though, but it was
nice.
really cool. So I dug that.
That's
And
hard.
then of course there's the Wonder Woman,
Black and gold.
Black and
Black,
Gold.
white, yeah.
My man Raymond and Gabe from Fierce gave me that one, so I found a frame to put that in.
Nice.
And then at the other end, I got Black Panther right there.
Dope.
And you see the stuff that you gave me. My graded books
Oh yeah.
right there, frame books and all.
Nice. Nice.
My
Yeah.
Justice League set from New 52.
Oh, that's dope. Are those are those like the Todd McFarlane figures or?
No, these predated the Todd McFarlane figures. This is when the New 52 line came out,
Okay.
and they introduced all the figures to them. The new figures out. So I was like, they did them in separately, individually, and in one set. And I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna get the set
Yeah.
because I was like,
Right.
by the time I get the set, I will have actually paid less than would it be to collect 7 action figures.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. What brand is that? What who makes those?
Let's see who made that. Give me a sec, because I'm gonna look up some other stuff. You see my janky ass geek room.
Yeah, that's what we're looking at, man. Let's check these out. Oh, there goes Shazam. There goes Black Adam.
Yep, Black Adam right there.
Nice.
Who did make these?
Okay, wait. Is Black Adam a black dude or a white dude?
Neither. I would say he's more like Egyptian.
Oh,
Like more Egyptian descent.
yeah. Gotcha. Gotcha. Okay.
There's a armored Green Lantern that I have,
That's dope.
and armored Superman I got.
Nice.
And then there's your boy Bat Zorro.
What? Dude, what's up with that? From Bizarro World. His bat's upside down and shit.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
That is nice.
That DC line, the New 52 line, it just say from DC Collectibles. It don't necessarily give a manufacturer on the box.
Okay. No, I was just wondering if it was like Mezco or like what it just says DC Comics. So yeah, it looks like just DC put that out. Yeah. I mean, it's not Hasbro or none of that.
No.
Like, wow.
No.
That's cool.
So yeah, man. So those are some of my figures that I have that I collected. Like those are the ones I collected over the years, and of course the new stuff is here, the McFarlane line right there.
Right. Yep. So you're definitely more disciplined than I am because I cannot leave them in the package. I can't. I can't do it. I can't do it.
I wanted to open some of them so bad, but I was like, oh, I'm just gonna leave them in the package.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel you. It might be even. I mean, definitely easier to like hang them on the wall and stuff like that because I have them all set up on the shelf. Yeah, like that. These shelves right here, these black shelves, that's all figures set up on them shelves. But yeah, like I said, man, I gotta take them out and pose them and make them look dope.
See, I like how you do that, man. I'm like what you say, disciplined about keeping them in. I'm like you disciplined about taking them out and pose them and open them because I'm just like, man, I'm like, I want to do that so bad, and then it's like the 10-year-old me want to come out like I want to do a battle scene now.
Yeah. 100%. See, but I keep all the boxes. See, what I do is I cut the tape with a razor or whatever, make it really so like the box isn't damaged at all. I slip the thing out, take them out, and and I put the packaging all back together like it's never been opened, and I put them in like these plastic sort of containers, tubs.
Yeah, okay.
The lids. Yeah, and I've got them all. I've got, however many 100 boxes over there stacked up. And that way, if cuz my thing is this. If it was a 1970s or 1980s figure,
Mm-hmm.
then I would never take it out of the package.
Right.
But these are recent. I mean, these are coming out in 2020. They're, anything 2000, and they're made, millions of them are made. You know what I mean? Like they're never going to be
They're not gonna have that same value like the 80s, 70s, and 80s, and maybe some of the 90s stuff had. So
right.
yeah, I get that too. I guess that's part of it, but it's like I like that seriously that I was showing you. Thank you, Diamond Knowledge. I'm like, once I get it clean, I'll show it more. Like I'll even show it on my Instagram stuff. So I
Yeah.
appreciate that.
Yeah. You see
But yeah, man. Once I like looking at some of the stuff like that, I'm like, that seriously was one that was one of a kind. So they're not making that much, that one of her anymore. And I'm like, all right, somebody might, if she does appear in a live action Wonder Woman movie, that might be something I could, potentially resell. Might not be for what I would get for some of the other stuff, but for the
right.
older stuff that we used to have. But I
Right.
saw, I got the Spider-Man line, Spider-Man Classics, hanging up on my wall. And I saw somebody on Instagram had one of them, and they sold them up for like $500. And I
Wow.
was like, dang, I bought it back when action figures were cheap. I bought it for like $7.
Oh my God. You have
And
it?
yeah, it's on the wall. I never opened it.
Wow.
Again,
That shit worth 5.
there's Spider-Man 2099. I think that was the one that they were looking at.
Wow. Yep.
There's a black suit Spider-Man.
Oh, those are dope, bro. That looks almost like Marvel Legends.
And there's the Scarlet Spider.
Oh, hell no. Those are fire.
And there's the original Spider-Man right there. I found that one in like Walmart. I think Toy Biz made those back in the day.
That's fire.
And recently, of course, I got that from some cool dude. I ain't gonna name his name. Reno.
Go on. Okay.
And I recently got this one yesterday.
Nice. Oh, yeah. You was telling me. Yep. You got her instead of the that Green Lantern?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I really want that Green Lantern, man, because I wanted like a Hal Jordan, like just a regular old Green Lantern. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, but all I have is the Batman one. But I don't know why they made that set like that, because the Batman one was already out. There go Luke Cage. That's dope. Man, do those come with a comic book?
Yeah.
Fuck out of here.
Yeah, they covered that. Those came with comic books, man.
Oh man, that's why that shit's $500. Yeah, those are sick. Yeah, don't ever open those.
And then I got the Captain America right there.
Nice.
Of course, you see
That's a big one.
Yeah, that's big boy.
Okay. Yeah, I've never gotten, the only ones I get are the 7-inch, like 6 or 7-inch.
I got that one. I found this one at
That's what
Ross
she
for
said.
like $10, man. In like stores it was like 30, I believe. I got it for 10. I'm like,
Your mic is doing that thing again.
oh shoot. Let's mess with it and see what it do.
Yeah. Whatever, you always be able to fix it though.
Yep.
There it is.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, so those are some of the action figures that I have, and of course there's a Super Shredder. So did it go out again?
No, it's back now. For a second, but I think it's back now.
Nah. But yeah,
Man.
those are like my a lot of my action figure collections. Now the ones I do plan on opening up, like I said, I want to do I'm gonna make it like a little battle scene with He-Man and Alien, He-Man and Predator versus Skeletor and Alien.
Nice.
So yeah, man, do a little fight scene and have that because I got the Masters of the Universe. I'm getting into the Revelations characters.
Yeah, those are nice, man. Those are actually good figures. I like the Skeletor. I'm not crazy about the Skelegod just because it doesn't look like anything I recognize. It's
I
not.
kind of did. I kind of dug him, man. I'm like, I got him before I got the original version of Skeletor.
No, don't get me wrong. For what it is, it's a dope figure and a dope
Hmm.
character and everything. I like it. I dig it. It's just that what I'm after is nostalgia. Like
Ah,
I want them to look like the 80s joints. So I
right.
like but I like their what do you call it? The original type of Skeletor, the one that just looked like Skeletor, but he's got that
Mhm.
Revelation style to him. That's a great looking figure. That's a great looking figure. But I
Yeah.
haven't gotten any of them yet. I haven't gotten any of those yet. I haven't made the jump to He-Man yet. I just haven't. I do G.I. Joe Classified,
Hmm.
Star Wars Black Series, Marvel Legends, DC Multiverse. I think that's it. Yeah, that's it.
Hmm.
Yeah. I don't
I
like the Marvel Select, the Diamond Selects because they don't articulate at all. They might as well be statues.
got. Yeah.
And the old McFarlane stuff too. McFarlane's toys were notorious for having no articulation. They were just cool to look at, but they were
Right.
already in like a pose, but the arm could move, but it's already bent and like positioned in a pose. So if you moved it, it just looked retarded. They couldn't, so they might as well have been statues. But
Yeah, it
Todd
wasn't much practicality to it.
Yeah, but the Todd father has learned, man. The Todd father has learned. He's making some really dope figures right now. Big shout out to Todd McFarlane and Al Mega Comic Crusaders, who has had Todd McFarlane on his show a few times. We hope to one day see you, Todd, over here on the Sixth Element,
For
and
sure.
that would be ill. Yes, I miss my '80s Joes too, man.
Damn right.
And if you look, if you watched our previous episode with the Mexican Griswolds up here from Instagram,
Wee.
wow. Just
Woo.
like, wow.
Yeah,
And
man, that was incredible.
yeah, and he is like a newbie to the whole G.I. Joe collectible world. Like I want to get this guy uh Dark Star Vintage. Shout out Dark Star. Or is it Dark Side? Dark Star. I think it's Dark Star. And I want to get him on this show. He said he'll do it. We're just trying to work out a time or whatever. And but his stuff, man, like how, bro? It's his stuff is like the commercial. Like, remember we used to see the G.I. Joe commercial and they would have
Mhm.
they had a whole play set up and everything is there. That's how his stuff looks. I mean, he takes pictures and stuff on Instagram. You check him out. Dark Star Vintage, but stunning, bro. Like to have those figures in such good condition and have all the accessories, people don't understand. That's like it's next to impossible. Like it,
Yeah, man, you had to keep up with them. Number one, keep them
yeah.
intact. Number two, keep them safe. Number three,
It I know we threw them in a box, there'd be a big box of GI Joes, right? Just
yep,
all clunking around in there, paint scratching
yep,
up. By the time we were done, some of them, all the paint was off of them. But
yeah.
it's like, yeah, like how do they have these mint condition, but yet
I
out of
can't
the
tell you
package?
how many of the what was the BATs, the Cobra robots.
That's yeah.
I can't tell you how many of them I had because I'm like some would get broke and I'm like it's a robot, big deal,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
in the cartoon.
yeah.
And so I had so many of them and shoot, just other joys. And like you said, some of them get paint scratched and
Mhm.
limbs come up missing. I'm like, well, yeah, they got damaged in battle.
Right. And yes, and yeah, I wish I hadn't given them to my nephew. Little shit. Yeah, little bastard.
Oh
But nah,
man.
like, yeah, like I think mine must have all gone to some cousin or Goodwill or garage
Hmm.
sale, probably garage sale them. I don't know, 'cause, I you know, my parents just got rid of them after I grew out of them. They just threw them away, and it's like it's crazy to think I had everything that GI
Yes.
Joe made, from the
Let's see.
aircraft carrier to the Cobra Terradome to all the little vehicles, every figure to a point. Like I think maybe by the time they got into Tiger Force and then like Cobra La,
Mm-hmm.
that's kind of probably where I ended off. Like
Uh-huh.
where I grew out
Kind of
of it.
tailed off of.
Yeah, yeah, because like they continued to make toys. Like they made toys all through the 90s, 2000, but I wasn't into any of that by that time. But getting nostalgic, man, getting old. I'm 42. We getting then it's like, man, I want to start looking at them old toys and stuff I had, but I had no idea, man. I didn't know. I didn't know that was
Mhm.
gonna be something I'd be into. I was
You
I think I was at a man, where could I maybe a convention? I don't know. I was somewhere and I seen all these GI Joe toys and I was like, "Man, I wish I had those." Like those were the shit. And
yeah.
then like man, I want to put those up on like a shelf now and like display them. And that's when I started buying the other stuff, the Marvel Legends and all of that because it's so similar. And then GI Joe Classified came out. At first, they were horrible. I ain't gonna front. The first classified figures that came out, they were like futuristic sort of versions of the characters. They weren't. They didn't look like how they did in the '80s, and
Mhm.
a lot of people didn't like them.
Mm.
And but they've recently started to uh be more faithful to the original, the original look of the 80s character of the 80s figures. Like yeah, like when they started making well, good example, like Gung Ho, right? He wore like turquoise, like his outfit was like turquoise and green, but
Mhm.
they put him out with like olive drab and like silver and stuff like that with the futuristic stuff, but just didn't look had the wrong tattoo on his chest, like it wasn't Gung
Oh
Ho.
shit.
But then Flint came out and he looks spot on. He's got the black shirt, he's got the suspender, the bullet things, he's got the pants are green, just how it should be. He's got the beret. Um and Beachhead looked just like Beachhead, but they gave him a red beret, which Beachhead never wore a beret. Beachhead just had the ski mask, the green
Uh-huh.
ski mask.
Right.
But the red beret looks great and you can take it off. So that's
Oh,
cool. That's cool. We don't mind that. We good with
that's
that.
different.
Yeah, and then they made the GI Joe Viper, and that looked a little more real. Then Barbecue came out. He looks spot on, looks just like Barbecue from the '80s. Loved him. Destro, just like Destro from the '80s. Perfect. Uh, yeah, couldn't do any better. But the Firefly, he wasn't great. He had this big bulletproof vest, like not a bulletproof, a bomb-proof vest. You know, like how the bomb squad wears, like these big
Mhm.
bulk. He had like a vest of that, and it's like, what? That's not how Firefly was he was a saboteur, but he was minimal. He just wore like a thin, you know, camouflage, gray camouflage, basically ninja outfit with the ski mask, and he, ran around and did his thing. But they had him all bulky looking, and that wasn't the best. But now they're looking really good. They came out with the Alley Viper recently. Man, the Storm Shadow they came out with was ridiculous. It was he was based off the Arctic Storm Shadow. I don't know. He's wearing a black suit for one. Storm Shadow's all white. He's wearing a black suit. He's got like this off-white little weird stripes. The hood looks retarded. It don't even look like a hood. Like I don't mean to use that word. Excuse me. The hood looked ridiculous. But yeah, man. Like now they're coming out with a Storm Shadow that looks just like the version 1 1980s Storm Shadow figure.
Really?
Yeah, all white. He's got the red cobra on his chest. He's got the
Mhm.
arm. Looks just short sleeves, right? Just like the 80s Storm Shadow. Amazing. I pre-ordered him. Spirit, the Native American dude that had the eagle on his arm.
Uh-huh.
They made him spot on, just like the 80s joint. Uh Alley Viper, Croc Master.
Wow.
And he come with the alligator. Croc Master looks spot on like the 80s Croc Master. And I pre-ordered him too, man. I can't wait to get those. Like those are great. Like G.I. Joe Classified keeps it up. and they did. They made the bat like you was talking about, the BATs. They
Mm-hmm.
made them look just like the 80s joint. Like I said, Alley Viper, that's the dude that had the fluorescent orange suit with like the visor that came down and there's like fluorescent orange with like blue camo spots on it. It had the big shield that he carried. So they just made him. He looks great. So yeah, I definitely into the GI Joe classified because they like I said, they're making 80s versions. They're making 6-7 inch versions of the 80s figures.
Oh man, that is really cool.
Yeah, and
I
they're like,
most of my figures I had some GI Joes, which I always, like I said before, I crossed over GI Joes and Transformers. I always interacted them a lot, because they were all, both made by Hasbro. So
yeah,
I would have some fun with them. My Joes and the Autobots and the Decepticons and Cobras and like
yeah,
the always I'm out hatching a scheme for Cobra to try to take over the Decepticons and use them. The Decepticons like we trying to, use you to take over the world, and then we go kill you type stuff. I'm like, it was
mhm.
always some type of Armageddon type scenario whenever I had my toys when I was a kid, and I had Dick Tracy, Ninja Turtles, Thundercats, He-Man, the Silverhawks. Eventually, all of them turned into wrestlers, but oh well.
Uh,
But I
yeah.
was like, dang, I'm kind of like what you said, but like my mom, and when I got older, she would yard sales, or she would give them away to one of her friends' kids because she had like 5 or 6 kids or something. Like one of her sons went on to play pro football. I was like, cool, now you can reimburse me for all the stuff I gave you. Give me my shit back.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like you
Yeah.
making millions of dollars, I want my shit back.
Mhm.
But yeah, man, I had all this stuff. Like, golly, like, dang, I wish I had kept it. Like, I had my original 4 Ninja Turtles, Shredder, Splinter, April O'Neil, the Party Van, and now I
Nice.
see all this stuff reissued. And I'm like,
Oh, yeah.
I had that stuff, man.
Man, I never got the Turtle Van, but I definitely had the Turtles. I had, like, Bebop and Rocksteady. Like, a
Mm-hmm.
couple of them joints, I had those, but I never got Turtle Van because like I said, I kinda tapered off around that time, I think, but the new figures they have these great turtles, where they come in a 2-pack, and it's, like, Leo and Rocksteady, or they
Yeah,
got Michelangelo and Bebop.
yeah,
And they got articulation, they got joints and stuff. Because remember
yep.
back in the day that they were just like He-Man, the shoulders moved and that was about it.
Let's
Like,
see, the
they did
shoulders, I think. I
the
want to say
shoulders,
that the
hips,
head move. I know the legs and arms
head,
move.
yeah.
And I think either it was
But
the wrist or forearm, one of the two. Because
they didn't
Playmaker
have
made them. I remember that.
knees or elbows,
Nope.
and they were very, very basic, and yeah, they were plastic, hard plastic, but like the rubber head, like G.I. Joe or, like He-Man. 'Cause
Hmm.
remember He-Man figures were hard plastic, but the heads were you could
Like,
squeeze, they
yeah,
were rubber.
squishy rubber.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, but now I think now the GI the He-Man figures, they're all plastic,
Yep.
like even the heads. Yeah, so that's something that, would make it more, nostalgic if they did, but I don't know. I guess it wasn't maybe the best way. I wonder why they did that.
Because you couldn't hit your little brother in the head with the hard plastic figure no more.
Nah, but just the head was soft.
I don't know. Maybe I don't know. Maybe it was
Oh,
like
yeah, I don't know because it's weird because
I always wondered that too. And
I
that
always
was
wondered that.
beside the arms and legs, and I think like depending on what the action figure you got of He-Man, you could turn his
Yeah,
waist. That
yeah.
was it.
Yeah, but what's weird to me is that the the
The
head
head
is
was just so
always like a squeeze toy,
yeah.
like a dog, it's so weird. Wonder why they did that. I would like to find that out. If anybody knows in the chat or in the comments, please let us know why were He-Man heads hollow and squishy?
Rubber.
Yes,
Why would they that squishy rubber type
inquiring minds
and the
will.
body was hard plastic?
Yep,
Hmm.
very strange. Well,
Man,
man, I was just looking at this thing. It said 8 events that forced comic books to change. And one of them is the atomic bomb in Superman number 38. In the story Battle of Atoms, Lex Luthor tried for the bajillionth time to take over the world. After Superman foiled his nemesis' evil plan, he approached Lex, ready to send him to jail. In a panic, the bald supervillain chucked a combustible pellet at the Man of Steel, which proved to have little effect. After handing Lex over to the authorities, Supes flew off, content that he'd saved the day once again. Even though this sounded like a pretty standard story, it was the first Superman comic ever to be censored. You see, the ineffective weapon that Lex hurled at his mortal enemy was called an atomic bomb. The writers coined this term at random, oblivious that officials overseeing the Manhattan Project were constructing a nuclear weapon with the same name. Despite the fact Lex's weapon had no resemblance to the real atomic bomb in appearance or power, the U.S. Defense Department forced the comic to be delayed. What's worse, is that the publishers of DC Comics weren't told why the story was pulled, since Manhattan Project was top secret. Only after the U.S. dropped the 2 nuclear weapons on Japan were DC Comics given permission to release the issue.
Wow.
Wow. That's crazy. That is fucking crazy.
Man.
Just think about it. Like, yeah, that's big. What else? The Challenger plane, Man of Steel #1, 1986. In 1977, John Byrne is known for 2 things: being an awesome comic book collaborator and predicting tragedies in his storylines. In 1977, he wrote a Spider-Man comic about a blackout in New York the same week the city suffered an electricity malfunction. In 1978, he wrote an X-Men issue where Japan was hit by an earthquake months before it actually happened. 3 days after writing a comic where Wonder Woman, aka Princess Diana, dies, the real Princess Diana of Wales died. Another freaky coincidence that like this happened while John Byrne was preparing the 1986 Superman reboot series, Man of Steel. Months before the comic was published, the Canadian artist had prepped a drawing of Superman flying into the sky to save a NASA space shuttle. On January 28, 1986, NASA's Challenger exploded almost immediately after the launch, killing all passengers aboard. Not wanting readers to relive this horrific tragedy, Byrne redrew the vessel that Superman saved as an experimental space plane. Although the vehicle had bared no resemblance to the space shuttle, Byrne knew having a more realistic ship would have been in poor taste.
Now, I do remember hearing about that.
Oh, really?
That story, yeah.
Yeah, because I'm looking at the pictures. Well, here, let me show you guys. So in the original art, in the black and white, you see, well, you can kind of tell this right here. That's the shuttle right there. You can see it's like the black bottom and the but then over here in color is what they ended up doing.
Yep. Crazy, man.
I remember the shuttle incident. I remember being little kids. We went out. They brought us out because I lived in Florida, so we were right there. You could see the shuttle.
Ooh.
And so they brought the class out to watch the shuttle go off. And I just remember that at one point the teacher, like, and just like, shooing the kids back into the room, back into the class.
We watched it on TV at in my elementary school, and I remember, it happened like our teacher, she kind of froze, and then she turned the TV off, and first thing she told us was just like, everybody pray.
Right. Yeah.
Like,
See, now they couldn't have done that in my school, but I guess that's the difference of Alabama.
Yeah, I went to my elementary school, was like a private school. It was a Bible school at the time too. Now it's a daycare, but still, at the same time, it's just like, man,
That's interesting because 3rd grade, well, I guess like maybe from kindergarten to 3rd grade, I went to a private school also. Not a Catholic school or religious school at all. It was just a private school. And I was in a private school but 4th grade I went back to public school and was in public school from then on. But that's weird that we both was in private school when the shuttle.
Yep.
That's crazy. But yeah, I remember that, man. Oh shit. Damn, dog. You see him? I was just going this way. He grabbed onto the microphone. Ripped the damn leg off, man. What the hell? Dude.
Oh man.
So okay, that's Marvel stuff. But yeah, man, I thought that was pretty cool. Little DC tidbits. But I remember DC. I mean, you gotta remember, DC was around in the 30s and 40s and so all that World War II stuff was going on. Like
One thing about them now that in recent, I would say in recent, from like the late 80s and 90s on up to now, is they use real world events, but they don't hardly ever use real world cities.
right. Well, yeah, DC, right? Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And it's like, okay, recently I read an article where I guess Tim Fox is, of course, Batman in the future, and he's going back to New York City. And of course, a lot of times Gotham or New York is referred to as Gotham. Most people, when they think about it, like, what do you call New York City in the comics? Well, I call it Gotham City.
Right.
And now it's like, okay, so now this is established New York City and established Gotham City. I'm like, need y'all to be a little bit, better on your continuity, man. Like, are you gonna do? It's like you can do like Marvel and use real world cities. I mean, it's not
Right.
exclusive. You don't have to pay the
I was-
cities.
right. And I always thought it was because of Marvel, but then I was young. I didn't know that DC was out long before Marvel. But yeah, because Marvel does, they do New York. They get into boroughs like Spider Queens, Daredevil, Hell's Kitchen. They get specific. But I always thought like the reason DC did it was like Superman is Metropolis, which Metropolis is like New York, but then Gotham is New York also. But they didn't want to have both superheroes in the same city.
Right.
So they made two versions of New York. Metropolis is the idealistic modern city that New York should have been, or maybe was at one time. And then Gotham was the more gritty, realistic, crime-ridden, dark city that New York definitely was in the 70s and 80s. But, now New York is definitely more metropolis-y. But yeah, man, that's the real world, man. Comics have definitely made a big impact in the real world in many ways.
Mm-hmm.
For sure. Well, all right, man. This has been a dope show. And real quick, I just wanted to say ASAP said that the He-Man heads were a choking hazard. They came off too easily. I watched the Toys That Made Us on Netflix and stuff like that. They talked about the creation of the figures, and I couldn't remember if they said anything about that, but I think they did, because if that rubber head came off, it's just as much of a choking hazard as if it was a hard plastic head.
Right.
But I think maybe the fact that it was soft made it harder for it to fall off or pop off because it sort of gripped the post that it was stuck to better than the hard plastic one would have been more easy to pop off. So it wasn't it was the fact that they came off less. They came off too easy or whatever. But yeah. So we solved the mystery of the He-Man head. All right. But yeah, man, we had fun, everybody. Thank y'all for coming and hanging with us. DC Day postponed, DC Sunday. What's good, man? We have fun. And Spade, I want to thank you, man, for making it possible to do this today.
For sure.
To yesterday. I really appreciate it. And I don't know, man. I guess you're not doing Total Fandom today on Instagram?
Nah, we didn't really. I don't think we really had anything planned. So You know, we sometimes we might go a couple of every Sunday, every so often on a Sunday, we might not have nothing planned. And, you know, you can use it to have a day off too, because stuff might not be right and be like, oh man, you know what, might try to find a guest or whatever, or topics to talk about, and it's just not there. So yeah,
Right.
so we just kind of like, all right, well, we don't necessarily have to do one this Sunday.
Oh, okay. I thought you guys did them every Sunday regardless. Like, I just thought you just did them every Sunday no matter what.
We try to, don't get me wrong, we try to, but
Okay.
sometimes it's just like we ain't gonna hold ourselves to it if it's
Right.
just not there, it's just not there.
Sure. Understandable. Well, shout out to Cooks24. Anyway, Cooks24 podcast, the homie that's the comic dudes, homeboy, also with OG Green Lantern. Shout out to OG Lee and
Yeah.
Carlos, my man Los as well. The comic dudes, and shout out to the Madmen of Comics as well on Instagram, guys. We got a lot of cool shit going on too. If you're into comic books or you're into buying comic books online, check out our Instagram pages. We go live. We do Instagram live shows, live claim sales, kind of like auctions. We show the books. You bid on them, or just claim them, and you pay for them, and we mail them to you. But we've got some big giveaways that we're doing where we're giving away a whole short box full of comics, like 130 comics, real good comics too. No dollar bin crap. I mean, these are like, there's signed books in there, there's virgin variants, there's key books, all kinds of comics that are really top notch. We put them together in a big short box along with 3 slabbed comics and 3 custom slab stands from Malverde Designs. Shout out to Malverde Designs. Check them out as well. Makes phenomenal comic book stands. Crazy dope 3D printed madness goodness. But that's first prize. We're doing 4 prizes. So we put everyone's name on this raffle, right? We're gonna give away 4 different prizes. All of them are gonna get slabs or multiple slabs and a bunch of raw comics, some little extra stuff. And but the way this raffle is different is we're not selling spots on the raffle exactly. They're free to any of our customers. So if you come to any of the Madmen of Comics on Instagram, like myself, 6th_element_comics, or any of our team members, as well as Spadeonomics Comics, you will be able to, for every $50 you spend with us on comic books, we put your name on this raffle wheel for free. So every $50 gets you a free spot on the wheel. No matter how many $50 you spend, that's how many free spots you get on the wheel. We're gonna spin the wheel December 17th, next weekend, next Saturday. And whose ever name it lands on gets the short box. We're gonna spin it 4 times, 4 names, 4 winners, all kinds of prizes. So definitely want to take advantage of that. And also, I got a Something is Killing the Children lot, 26 books, 1 through 19 first appearances, 6 variants, the Enter the House of Slaughter #1. That whole lot, we're giving that away, $20 a spot. $20 a spot on the raffle for that. Or you can get 6 spots for 100, right? And then that 100 is $50 2 times. So that gives you 2 spots on the big raffle that we're doing next weekend for the short box and all of that. So lots of extra stuff, lots of bang for your buck. You definitely get more value for your money rocking with us. So definitely check us out on Instagram. It's a lot of fun, and everybody gets good deals on great books.
Nice.
Yes, sir. That was a mouthful. Spade, you got anything? Any promotions? Anything you want to talk about?
Just check me out on YouTube, channel 187. I also do, like Reno was saying, I also do comic auctions. My wife and I, we do some from time to time. We're going to try to do more husband-wife auctioning off, and I'm going to get back, to doing stuff with the Madmen of Comics. I also want to do a review of Masters of the Universe Revelation. So that's going to be a video I'm going to try to get done and post that on my YouTube as well. So y'all stay tuned for it.
Nice. Yeah, man. If you need a co-host on that, let me know, man. I'd definitely like to review that with you.
Oh, for sure.
All
For
right.
sure.
And yes, and thank you too, sir. Thank you everybody, man, for hanging out with us. And we will see y'all Monday at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. on Sixth Element of Hip Hop and comics. All right. Peace.